So in today's video, I'm going to do my best to convince you that you should not just have an Etsy shop and why you could be setting yourself up for a little bit of disaster if that is what you choose to do. Why? I'll tell you in just a sec. G'day there, my name is Jess Van Den, and if you don't know me, I have been running my own successful online handmade business called Epheriell since 2008, which I started as an Etsy shop, and I still have an Etsy shop, but we'll get to that. Since 2013, I've been helping other makers just like you and me work out how to have a successful, thriving, profitable handmade business via my podcast, blog, YouTube channel, and more. Create and thrive. So, why would I tell you not to just have an Etsy business? First of all, let me start with a caveat. If you are just starting out, if you are just beginning your handmade business journey and you haven't got any online presence and you want to set up an online shop, by all means, start with Etsy. I think it's a fantastic place to start your business. And not only that, I actually recommend that every maker who sells online has an Etsy shop. Why? Because they are still the premier handmade marketplace, and you don't really want to be missing out on all of that traffic. People going to Etsy to shop for handmade. If you're not there, they can't buy from you. So that's why I strongly recommend. To this day, I'm 11 years into my handmade business. I still have an Etsy shop. It still works really well for me. So I'm not at all being anti-Etsy in this video. I'm just saying that it is risky to put all your eggs in the Etsy basket. So there's been a talk about recently, and this has existed forever. This is not something new. People having issues with their shops being shut down. This has been happening forever when it comes to Etsy. Did you just hear my cat run up the hallway? She's having a funny 5 minutes. It's hilarious. Anyway, there've always been shops that have been shut down unfairly by Etsy. It's easier these days. It's a big conglomerate. There's hundreds of thousands of sellers on there. Sometimes the wrong people are going to be shut down, and it's really, really unfortunate. But at the end of the day, the thing to remember, you don't own your Etsy shop. Etsy owns your Etsy shop. Remember that. Whenever you're selling on any marketplace, Etsy, Amazon Handmade, eBay, not on the high street, whatever it is, there's so many of them, and I do recommend you get on a number of them, especially when you're starting out, because that helps you to reach more customers. But at the end of the day, if you're selling on a marketplace, you have to abide by their rules and regulations, and they own the platform, not you. So if you're just starting out, Etsy shop's brilliant. Just have an Etsy shop when you're getting started. However, if you reach the point where your handmade income online is a significant part of your income, or is inching towards being your sole method of income, you absolutely 100% need to diversify. You need to be selling in more than one place and not just on Etsy. Have multiple marketplaces. I think that's a great idea, but I think everybody who's serious about this should have their own website. Whatever platform you want to use for that doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what matters is that you create online real estate that you own and that nobody can take away from you. And that's what having your own website is. Not only that, you can make your own rules, you make your own policies. You're not constrained by Etsy or any other platform and the rules that they have set in place. So you can take your business in whatever direction you want to take it without having to worry about, running afoul of the rules that are set in place on that platform. Now, I've talked a lot about this in my latest podcast episode, the Create and Thrive podcast. I'll put a link to the episode. It's number 205. I'll put a link below so you can go listen to that full episode of the podcast. Basically, what I talk about in that podcast episode is all of the things you need to consider when you're choosing a platform to sell on online. I go through 15 things that you need to take into consideration when you're choosing the platform you want your business to be on, whether that's Etsy, Handmade, Amazon Handmade, those sort of platforms that are owned by somebody else, those marketplaces, versus the self-hosted sort of websites Shopify, WordPress, Squarespace, etc., etc. I talk about the difference between those two things, why it's a great idea to have both, and the things that you want to consider when you're choosing the platform that will be right for you and your business, because it will be better for everybody. It will be different for everybody, I should say, depending on which one you choose. And I go into why I personally have my website set up via WordPress, and I use WooCommerce to power the shopping cart on my website. So check that episode out. It's on any podcast platform that you might be interested in, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc. And I hope you enjoy that episode as well. But today I just wanted to stop by and make that one really important point about Etsy, that it's a fantastic platform. I think all makers should really have a presence there if they're serious about, reaching out. And I know some people kind of feel like they've moved beyond it and they sell only on their own platform and in other places, and that's fine. That's everybody has to design their business the way that they want to. But for me, it makes sense to be there still because I get a lot of business, a lot of traffic through Etsy. So it works really well as a part of my whole business design. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Helps me know that you're enjoying the content, and it helps other makers find this video as well. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any further videos from me. And I'll be back again very soon with another video. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye for now.